Alright guys, I'm going to go through QQQ on the 5-minute chart today. We're going to walk through all of the different candles and we're going to look at the price action that happened today, some of the different setups that formed, the scalps that I take, and then also, just some good trade ideas. And hopefully going through this and showing you the price action will open your eyes to maybe some setups that you didn't see or reaffirm what you were seeing. So let's begin. I'm just going to use the replay function here. So I'm going to get to this already, but here we see a 2-minute sell signal. But let me go back and I'm going to grab some additional levels that could help us today. So we're going to use the auto support and resistance feature in the algo, and we're just going to go back and then grab some levels. This one's already a key level. We don't need that. We see resistance at 377.32. So I'm going to put that on my chart. And then, yeah, that's it. So, and we already have, yesterday's low day marked. So we're going to continue here. You see we get that sell signal. Now I wouldn't personally take this signal because we just opened, we don't have a clear formation. Yeah, we rejected twice off of the pre-market high level, but again now we're sitting on this opening range level support here, and we have this demand zone right here. So we're just going to continue. Now we pull back, and then we get a 5-minute sell signal. Now what's nice was we're below the demand zone now, right? So once we close below the demand zone, now we have more conviction in this bear flag that just played out. So we're going to enter here on some puts, and then we can use the supply zone. It was demand, now it's flipped supply, as our stop, and then we can just take this down to the next level, which is a QQQ key level. So we're going to enter there. You can see we make a move lower. We wick past this level, but we don't close above it, so we're still in the trade. And there we go. So you can take your profit there, but we actually wicked all the way down to pre-market low, where we bounced a little bit there and then still closed below the support that we had. So that was a good trade. A lot of people in the Discord saw this and they took that and made some good money on puts. I didn't actually trade until later in the day. I was sleeping in a little bit, so missed this opportunity, but there were some other opportunities later in the day and on SPY as well. So let's continue. So now we're pulling back. Now what you want to notice is, you see on this dump we had some pretty high volume, even had a nice little spike here, but as we're pulling back you'll notice that we significantly decrease in volume, and we're continue to decrease in volume. So when you see decrease in volume on a pullback, that usually means that pullback doesn't have as much strength, and it could just be a pullback for the next leg down, which in fact it was. So you see that we've pulled back into this EMA cloud, rejected this supply zone as well. You can see that double rejection here, and then we push down to this pre-market low level where we sat on pre-market low, and then we dumped again to this previous day demand zone. So at this point I would not be chasing, definitely not chasing any puts, because we have a strong potential support region and demand zone right there. But there was this was in my opinion the best opportunity. Double sell signals, close below the demand zone there on a nice increase in volume. Now you could have entered here again on this pullback. You could have used the EMAs as your stop. You could have used this zone as your stop. You could have used VWAP, doesn't matter. And then I would have taken my profits here at pre-market low. But nonetheless, let's continue. You can see we touch that zone and then we get a nice little bounce off of yesterday's demand zone here. Alright, we wicked off of pre-market low twice here, and then this next candle is a bullish engulfing candle that takes us back inside the EMA cloud. You can see we try to get past the 21 EMA and this key level, and we fail, and we close below pre-market low. As expected, once we close below pre-market low, we had a nice little push to this support right there. And then we see this reversal here, and then we run into VWAP. So be careful when we run into VWAP. It's usually a pretty strong resistance. Now this is typically, right here, I want to focus on this. It's typically a bullish candle formation. When you get, I can't remember the name of it, but you get this bullish candle, and then you pull back, and then on these bearish candles, and this following bullish engulfing candle actually engulfs the two pullback candles here, right? So I would expect the next candle to be bullish. This is a small little bullish candle, but I wouldn't be surprised if we pushed all the way up to the supply zone. So we basically hit that area, just a couple cents off, and then we rejected and pulled back down, bear flagged, and then dumped again to pre-market low. Not really anything I would trade here. You can see we're kind of just chopping around, kind of forming a little something here, but again, nothing worth trading. It's pretty choppy. That was a nice little bear flag into pre-market low. Alright, so you see we are rejecting this key level, and then we had a buy signal. So with a buy signal, since it is below this key level, this resistance, and this VWAP area, I would not take this until we get past VWAP. And then after we get past VWAP, I would draw a resistance here, because that's a huge pivot point, and that would be my target for calls, should I enter the calls there. And then we can use, since we're already above VWAP when we enter, we can use VWAP as our stop. So here we are, so we enter here, and we're just looking for a little scalp there. And we get that, and we actually get a push all the way up to this overhead supply zone, and then we get out. So you see we have like a little evening star here, so now I would be careful about a potential reversal, especially because we're rejecting the supply zone. And then a second morning star or evening star candle. This time we're inside the EMA clouds. So now I'm looking at a potential reversal. We do have some support regions to break here. We have this key level, VWAP, and the EMA clouds. But should we get past there and below this support, we could see another push to pre-market low. And it actually happened before. So we wicked past. We never actually closed below these areas. We just got this huge dump right to pre-market low again. And that's a strong level, so we bounced there. Alright, 3-minute sell signal, and we have this kind of consolidation here. Now, with pre-market low being right there, I don't, I wouldn't take this. There's not really much room to go. We're right at the 21 EMA. I think the signal might actually fail. Yeah, so that is not, a signal. If you take that, you would have gotten stopped right there. So that was a great profit right there. That's a good profit. And then you take a loss here. So 2 out of 3 there. And that's what happens when you use the EMAs as your stop. So sometimes it is unfortunate. You can see we closed right above the EMA, the 21 EMA there, which would have stopped us out by a couple cents, and then we dump and we hit our target. So it just happens sometimes. That's actually pretty unfortunate because you missed this huge move to the downside. But that's just part of trading. We find some support on this key level at the bottom. Alright, and we struggle here. You can see we can't really get past this auto resistance or the EMAs. And I think we just consolidate here into close. Yep. So again, just, consolidation pattern into close. So there you go. So that's QQQ price action. There's some good opportunity there. Personally, like you saw, I just scalp here and there, and yeah, there you go.